Right then, thought I'd test out a few ideas. First thing I decided to do was get myself a new hard drive. A lot of people have been arguing that the custom firmware and whatnot is all stored on the hard drive because the NAND is too small to store custom firmware. It's a plausible idea, yeah, fair enough, I will give them that. But unfortunately, I don't believe it. I believe differently. I believe that it's got to be saved somewhere on that PlayStation, otherwise you'd just be able to replace a hard drive, which is what I'm going to test out now. I have my old original hard drive here. This has all my backups and stuff on it, and a horrible version of 3.56. I have a pen drive here with 3.56 on it as well. I have a pen drive here with 3.55 on it. Now they're both original firmwares. Obviously you can't get custom firmware with 3.56 yet, but they're both the original. So this 3.55 has not been tampered with in any way whatsoever. This is my new hard drive. I received it today. As you can see, there's the packaging for it. All I've done is the screws and pop the new one in. So it's all ready to be popped into the PlayStation to be tested out. So let's get going. Firstly, I've got nothing. PlayStation's not turned on or anything like that. Power's not even on in the back. I'm just going to slide the hard drive in there. I'm not going to bother with screws and things, just to save on time and things. Get the power cord and plug that into the back. Oh, there we go. And right. Now the first thing we're going to test out is just turning it on normally, because you know, as you do, you turn it on normally with a brand new hard drive in. What's going to happen? So yeah, turn on the PlayStation. I grab a controller as well, which is plugged in as well. As you can see, yeah. So we have one controller, one PlayStation. You get your usual message of please connect one and press the PlayStation button, as I'm doing. Now here's the interesting thing. It states straight away, connect storage media that contains update data of version 3.56 or later. So already it knows that there is a 3.56 or later that you can install. So already it's a fail. You know, you've put in a brand new hard drive and it knows there's a 3.56. So somewhere on the actual PlayStation itself is some information that lets it know that there is 3.56. So okay, forget that. What we'll do is we turn it off then. Should hold it down, it should turn off. If not, I'll just pull the power out. Yeah, as you can see, there's my custom PS1 as well with the Game Genie. Alright, there you go. Right, it's turned off. So what we're going to do now is we're going to boot up into that recovery menu. So as we do, right, have the double beeps. It's now starting up. Connect the controller and press the button. There we go. Right, here's our recovery menu, as many of you have seen by now. Sorry about the light on the TV. We've got 6 options there. Restart the system. No, that's not going to do anything. That's just going to bring us back to that menu that we've just seen. Restore default settings. It's tempting to test that one out. Restore file system. Rebuild database. They're not really going to do anything because there's nothing on the hard drive, unless they do some other random added feature. Restore PS3 system. Now, loads of people have been arguing that that does something, that it does something really important and downgrades the firmware. I don't believe this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all of them. First of all, I'm going to go system update. Now, as you see, again, connect storage media with 3.56 or later and press start and select. Now what I'm going to do is, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the 3.55 pen drive and I'm going to plug it in and see what happens. And just plug that in like so. Alright, then press start and select. Now it's going to read that and it's going to know straight away it's not 3.56. because it's not. So it's checking. A lot of people have had an error saying it's corrupt. So what's going to happen here? Come on, it's taking its time. Would have thought it would have been done by now. There we go. Data is corrupt. So yeah, everyone's getting the same error. If you stick in something that isn't 3.55, data is corrupt. Right. So that didn't work. Now I don't want to stick the 3.56 in just yet, just in case it then starts updating straight away. So what we'll do, I don't think we can push buttons on the controller. Nope. Start and select. Nope. So we're going to have to turn it off and start up that menu again. Right, it's now turned off. There's the first one. There we go. Should boot up into that menu again. Funny enough, Sony TV as well. Bastards. Right, there we go. What we got? Restart system or restore PS3 system. Oh, restore default settings. Let's try that one. Restore default settings. Are you sure you just do? Yeah, why not? I'm not going to lose out on anything, and even if I do, fuck it, I'll just reinstall it. The hard disk cannot be accessed, right? Well, that's obvious. Brand new hard disk. So we've got a new hard drive in there, and it doesn't know what the hell to do with it. We go back. Let's try restore the PS3 system. If you format, all data will be deleted. Well, there's nothing on the hard drives anyway, so yes. Now, many people have been saying that if you do this, then apparently it allows you to access the original firmware that was on the PlayStation when you first bought it. Now, in my case, I think that was 3.41, I believe. So, yeah, I have no idea how long this restoring is going to take. But many people have said that it should then allow you to access the original firmware that was on there. Now, obviously, the hard drive's blank, so the only thing you can really restore is anything that's in the PS3 itself. Right. And it says it again, 3.56. So it doesn't seem to matter what we do, it seems to still remember that it's got 3.56. So what we're going to do, 3.56, I'm going to plug it in. Right, there's now 3.56 in there. So start and select. Now it's checking to make sure that it is 3.56. Now I've heard this other one. If you'll notice, the pen drive will start flashing. It's not doing it yet. But what I've noticed is when you do this, the pen drive starts flashing as it's reading. It still says checking, please wait. There we go, it's flashing. Now, it's still saying checking, but it's flashing. Now that could be just because it's reading. But what it seems to be is that it's copying from the pen drive right this very minute to the hard drive so it's ready to install the new firmware. Because what I've done numerous times now is removed the pen drive after this, which I'll show you. Still blinking. Still checking. I've removed the pen drive after this and plugged in. There we go, preparing to update. And it says 0. So what I'm going to do is, instead of letting it update, I'm going to unplug. There you go. And it fails. So if it prepares to update and you unplug it, it seems to fail. So that says to me that it's still trying to access stuff, from the pen drive. Makes sense. So what would happen if we were to let it check and then change it to 3.55? Maybe it would check to realise it is 3.56 and then we can switch it? Who knows? Right, ready? So at the moment we've got 3.56 in there and it's checking. So it's going to check to see if it's 3.56. That's what we'll do. So we'll wait for the flashing lights. When the flashing lights start going, we'll switch over the pen drives. So then it's checked to see if it's 3.56. And then we're going to stick in 3.55 so it can read 3.55. There you go. It's flickering. So we'll plug that one out and put that there. And already it's saying that it's not there. So it doesn't matter what you do, you cannot change over the pen drive. I don't see any other solution to this to get that firmware there on that PlayStation there without maybe going into a factory settings mode, which I'm not going to be doing because at the moment there's no way of getting out of it. So it seems like every post that you will see online about doing this recovery won't work. Be my guest and try it yourself if you really want to, but well, you've seen it firsthand here. Just to clarify, if I unplug at the back, and I don't know if this is going to work too well. What I was going to do, I don't know if I can do it. I pop that just there. If I unscrew these screws. There's one. Two. Three. Don't know if you can see this on the thingy, but I'm basically unscrewing the screws for the hard drive. So I'm now going to take out that hard drive, this one here, pick up this one again, the original, the one that I had in the PlayStation before, screw back in the screws, at least two of them to try and save some time. There's one. Popping the other one here just so that the connections match up and whatnot. Okay. Got the camera. So now we've got our original hard drive back in its case. Pop that back in, that's nice and secure and snug. Plug it, oops. Plug the power back in. Turn it on and see what happens. This should boot up into the original PlayStation without any trouble because I've not tampered with that hard drive. The only thing I have done is a system restore. And there you go. Look. Loads up perfectly fine. So yeah, as you can see, none of these things work. So I'll leave it down to you all to discuss.